Guys, today we have Mr. Gerald Condon. He's the president of Gerald Condon Properties, and he's going to talk to us about finding your strengths today. So let's give him a round of applause and thank him for coming out today.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time today and you having the opportunity to come and visit someone like me, because I'm just like you. I'm a little older, maybe a little wiser, but once upon a time, just like you. The reality is we're all on the same page. At one time or another, we're all just people trying to find our destiny, looking for a way to start our careers, and then trying to specialize in one or more areas that makes us exceptional. And that's realistically what you're doing right now. You're honing yourself. Think of yourself as a large piece of metal that you're now hammering and skillfully cutting away at so that you become a better person, a better student, ultimately a business leader, and possibly a business owner. That's the whole intent for you being here, honing yourself. So think of this as a long process. Think of this as a process that takes diligence, takes time, takes patience, takes perseverance, and ultimately a goal. Because if we don't have a goal, and as we get started, just like not having a roadmap, or in these days and times, GPS for us, you pretty much can get lost very easily. Things that all of a sudden sounded like a great idea on the road to somewhere don't lead to anywhere. The next thing you know, you're floundering. Turn right, turn left, stop, do I go back? And most importantly, what have I done? Well, this is a pretty easy way of understanding where you might be going if you're lost. But with a goal in mind, with the opportunities of driving yourself forward, I'm going to give you a few things today to think about. And then we're going to also answer some of your questions. Because before I arrived today, I asked for some hot topics. Some topics that may be a question mark for all of you that have sent in to me for me to answer your questions. Just a way of trying to understand what's on your mind as much as you understanding what's on mine. Well, as I said before, having a direction is very important. But the first thing we have to do is start to examine ourselves so before we understand where we're going. I want each of you to start thinking about yourselves and putting you in these concepts and prospects as we discuss what I'm going to tell you. I want you to start thinking about who you are and what you represent to yourself. Not to anybody else, but what do you represent to yourself? Because your biggest critic sometimes can be yourself, not the outside world. In most cases, the outside world doesn't know you. But what you think of yourself can be most controlling. So first of all, to be successful in the education and in the desire to become a good business person, you have to think highly of yourself. We all make mistakes. We all trip and fall. That's a given. Everyone does. That's not the intent here, though. The intent is to understand yourself so that you can help specify to yourself, I'm carrying the torch of success. And I'm going to be the strong, long-term runner and go across the finish line. So thinking of yourself and how you represent yourself is most important. So the very first thing as you get started in each of your days, you, of course, get yourself going. Now, there's a variety of ways to get yourself going. Some people are late risers. Some people are early risers. Some people are night owls. Some people don't really get going until about that 5th cup of coffee. Some people like to chase it with a Red Bull. Some like a Diet Coke. Some like 2 cups of coffee. It's in a number of things to get yourself going. Some people prefer showers. Some people rather not shower and do that later in the day. It's a number of things. But what I'm asking you to do is think about how you start your day. Is it with the breakfast? Or is it, I don't have time for it, I got to go? Did you get yourself prepared for the day? Or did you just rush out in a hurry? If you find yourself repetitively doing something where you're shorting yourself on food, hygiene, preparedness, or just having a nice morning, you're probably cutting yourself out of some percentages of having a great day. When you start shorting yourself, you start shorting the opportunity facing you in the next few hours. The idea is you wake up in the morning, if you had the best of all worlds, you wake up in the morning refreshed, not stressed, but refreshed. Now everybody's got a fair amount of stress to do through the day, which is of course tests, studies, arrival, deadlines, etc. But the idea is you wake up in the morning refreshed. So you've gotten some sleep, you've gotten possibly something to refuel your body, coffee, toast, breakfast, whatever. You get yourself in the mindset of accomplishment. You see, a long time ago, way before there were restaurants, indoor kitchens, we all worked outside to gather our food, right? We all were foragers. We had to go fight for what we wanted to eat each day. There was no storage. So that you got up hungry. You got up determined to kill. Well, we don't have that mentality today. But back deep in our minds, we have the ability to want to accomplish. Those who are going to be business leaders, those who are going to be business owners, have that driven desire to accomplish, to succeed, to grow beyond those others. Now, is that some type of a method of being aristocratic? No. This is all just about personal determination, about how you want to live and what you want to do. So you get your morning started with a good, solid start. Gives you the opportunity of springboarding off and getting your day going. From there, you're back to the next step, organization. I saw one of the questions over here talk about organizations, and we'll discuss it in a minute. But how organized are you? Are you flailing around trying to determine where you're supposed to be? Is your GPS working inside your head of what you've got to do? Are you prepared with the products you need with you to make that day's attempt of success? Or are you constantly running around saying, man, I'm just not prepared. Man, I just don't have this. I need that. There's something I'm missing. Once again, stop. Look at yourself. As you evaluated a minute ago how you're going to treat yourself when you start your day, as you get it rolling, you're going to need all the tools available to you. So that you can understand that the tools of your success is about you being prepared. Someone else isn't going to prepare it for you and give it to you. You have to become fully self-contained and sustain yourself by being prepared so that you have the essential tools. That essential tool could be as simple as recharging your batteries on your iPad or your phone. Because today, in business, a phone and an iPad or any laptop is a vital, vital source of information and organization. And if you forgot to charge it, and all of a sudden you're flailing around trying to get something kick-started, you could be in trouble. So some of the simplest things in the world can string you out and really get you to the point of your trip. But let's go further. As you start working through your day and getting it going, you're going to have a mission statement of accomplishment. Now, I do it by calendars. Some people do it by notes. I put it on my calendar. I have time frames of what I expect to do today, when it's going to be done, who I'm with, and what I'm going to do at the end of the day. It's mapped out for me each day. Because I like to see the concession of accomplishment. Just a series of, I've done this, done that, done this. You can check them off. You can see them visually. You can feel the gain. Because we've all watched football games and baseball games and any number of games where the game went back and forth. You thought you had them running, and then all of a sudden, they're retreating. And so you don't want that back and forth scenario if you can help it in your business world. In your business world, you want to be able to plan for your success, plan your day, attack that day, execute whenever it's necessary, have your tools ready to prepare, sharpened, razored ready, and then you can move on to the next thing of that afternoon or later in that evening. Because you'll see that there is an accomplishment in a pattern of readiness. Militaries are always in a state of readiness, in a state of alert. The football team has a whole sideline of players, every one of them ready to go in if coach says go. So being in a state of readiness through your day as you move forward, but with calendars, notes, information that helps spur you on into the game is essential. In other words, just getting up going, gee, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I got something, but I'm not, there's some things I was thinking of doing, but I'm really not sure. You're probably going to miss it, buddy. I'm telling you, it's probably not going to help you. You're probably going to go right through that day, and at the end of that day, you're going to look back and go, man, I get nothing done today. I didn't have nothing to show for it. Sure, you weren't prepared. You put in nothing, you get out nothing, right? It's a net gain. Put in nothing, get nothing. So the whole scenario has to be, how prepared are you? How ready are you to address that day? And what tools do you have ready? And how have you mentally addressed yourself in that morning to get it started? Now, I know what you're thinking. Gerald, look, I'm not always up. I'm not always ready. Some days I just feel lousy. Some days I got a sinus problem. Some days my mom and dad are on my back. Some days my girlfriend's just not happy with me. Okay, I'll take that. Some days we all have that. But that's a someday scenario. Again, if you measure yourself and you start finding yourself seeing this on a weekly basis, if you start seeing yourself particularly on a monthly basis, if you start seeing yourself on a daily basis, you better stop. Reevaluate what's the real core problem. Because at some point in there, there's that constant denominator that's penetrating and interfering with your success. Now, I know I'm giving you a wide prescription here of just how to work business, but I just want to get you started on the basics, because I don't want to walk into this preconceived notion that all of you know the basics of how to get yourself going through the day. I want to give you the tips of what I use and what my employees use to get themselves together. You see, I have about 36 employees, and of those employees, we meet daily for meetings. And it's constantly coming to the table to bring to me your accomplishments of that day previously and what's intended of you this day. It never is, come on in, get a cup of coffee, have a donut, and we talk about how's your day. Now, we'll do that after our meeting. But in the beginning of our meeting, it's full out attack. And those who are weak in the stomach or don't have the mindset to succeed, I'm not going to keep them around me. You can be my friend. You're just not going to be my business associate. Because I have a mission. And my mission is to either take care of my tenants, take care of my buildings, take care of my vehicles, take care of my employees. Now, with that mission, that's a mouthful right there with 4 items. And I can't do that with unprepared, unawake, unattentive, and no attack people. I have to have every bit of all you got, and I'm going to be asking more of you. Because we're going to succeed with you or without you. I really don't mind which side you're on. And the road is littered with people in the business world that weren't prepared and didn't accomplish what they were set out to do. The world is littered with them. So that every time you see companies that failed, folks, there's a reason. There's a reason why companies failed. Now, some of it takes about financial circumstances beyond their control. Most of the time, it's about poor planning, poor execution, any number of things that can get in the way and annihilate a good success plan. But for all of us here, the idea is you must be prepared to move forward. Now, let's talk about some of the things here that are on our list, and we'll kind of go through them. And then I want each and every one of you, if you have a question, to ask me. Let's go through it, and we'll have some fun at the end, okay? We'll take it on a more one-on-one basis. Here's the first 4 questions. We'll kind of just ramble through these. First one is, how do you work on gaining experience and finding your strengths in student organizations without spreading yourself too thin? Okay. First word on this question is my answer. It's called priorities. Where's your priority? Now, priorities to me, as a student, means your educational requirements. The duties of the class, the requirements of the teacher or professor, the responsibilities of you to study and produce the product that he's asking or she's asking for. So the first thing in this is priorities. Set your priorities. Because if you were working for me and I gave you a project, I've given you a timeline associated to that project. It could be I need it in 30 minutes. And it could mean I need it in 30 days. Either one is available. Most appropriately, it's going to be sooner than later. But sometimes we're doing long-range planning. And so we're saying, hey, look, think this over, kick it around, come up with some ideas, have it back to me in 30 days. In 30 days, we can all get together and see how it looks. Things have changed. You've done some development work. Everything's in order. But in that 30 days, I'm going to want to see a lot. I want to see your ideas. I want to see the market's ideas. I want to see nationally what's going on in ideas. And I want to see who are those that are most successful with this idea. I don't want something just pulled out from underneath your hat going, hey, Gerald, I think this may work. Because if you think that may work, you pull out your checkbook and write the money for it, and we'll see how far it flies. But if you're wanting me to pull out the money and pay for it, then I need some basis points. I need something that really shows that it's going to work. Now, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be successful. That's what it's all about. That's why you folks are here. You want to go from a state of finance that you're currently in to a state of finance you've yet to dream of. All of you have not yet dreamed of your potential. You have only scratched the surface. I'm here to tell you inside of each one of you is somebody really, really exciting. Somebody potentially successful that you haven't met yet. You don't even know that person that's inside of you. That's why you're honing that steel. That's why you're trying to get yourself awake, going through education, picking up some ideas, learning methodology of how the math, how the business cycles go, how the social skills go. And we'll talk about social skills in a minute. But you folks haven't met the real you yet. You're just in the surface of it. It's like a lunar surface. We haven't even gotten much further than seeing the top of a crater from Earth's perspective. But when they got there and started drilling down, you start finding a whole bunch more. And so as you start changing your lives with education, with social connections, with understanding yourself, with setting up patterns, good patterns. Good patterns. I want you to have great patterns. That's why we talked about how do you wake yourself up. Because here we go. My business is open at 8. My employees are there at 7:15. We have a meeting at 7:30. You're not on the clock yet, and you're at my meeting. That's your time. That's your time to catch up with me, talk to me, interact with me, discuss how the day's going, get you another cup of coffee. I don't care if you bring a whole smorgasbord of food with you. I don't care. Please bring enough for all of us. We're all sitting around the table with you. But if you just bring one Pop-Tart, I don't care. Bring it. Enjoy it. Talk to me about what you're going to do today, how you're going to succeed, where it's going, who's got it next. You're on top of it. You're out. You're in. We're done. And in 15 minutes, we're wrapped up. In 15 minutes, by 7:45, we are all done. Then, at 7:45, we got a couple of minutes. We'll talk about how your children are, what you're thinking about doing this weekend. Is your wife better? Is she feeling sick but better today? Kids are going out here, thinking about doing this. I give you about 5 to 10 minutes. We all chit-chat. 8 o'clock bell hits. We're on. We're all at our stations and jamming it. In some cases, folks hadn't even had time to have that other cup of coffee or talk because people are already coming in. The folks are starting to come in. The phone calls are coming in. The service calls are coming in. We're on board. This is just like a play. It's choreographed. It's got its characters. It's got its ceremonies. And it's got its concessions. And all of that's got to operate for that play to be a success. And the key actors and characters are you and I. And there's always a director in the play, and that's me. I'm going to bring it into an orchestra of full entertainment, getting something accomplished, and something you'll walk away with that you'll remember. That's what it's about. And so as our tenants come in to enjoy our buildings, enjoy our facilities, we want them to remember just what it's like to be there. We want them to have a good experience. Everything from hand sanitizer to the smell in the air conditioning systems, to how the floors glisten, to whether or not all the light bulbs are on. When we're in our automotive division, we want our automotive division to be spotless. The automotive division that I have as a separate company is spotless inside the waiting room and work areas. We want your car taken care of with the utmost care. We want you to get your car back better than you anticipated it to be when you dropped it off and thought you'd be coming back in a few days. We want it cleaner than you ever left it. Everything has to be checked and cross-checked. All the work has to be performed correctly. Your lives are at stake in that car after my company touched it. I don't want somebody to have an accident due to a fault of one of my employees. And it has never happened in 26 years. Now think about the thousands of cars we touch by the month, times the number of years. There's a lot of tires on the road that our company has touched. So, with that in mind, we all work towards these goals. We all have this work order of what we're going to do for the day, and we go through it. And then we disperse to our groups. So, back to this question, how do I gain experience and find my strengths in student organizations without spreading myself too thin? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to stay on your studies first and foremost. If you're a C student, strive to be a B student. If you're a B student and you can make it to A, make it to A. If you're A already, push harder, be A+. If you're failing, reevaluate yourself. You're not in the right college. Let's be frank about it. If you're failing in your grades, one of two things. You're not showing up, you're not trying, or you're in the wrong darn college. Because you know what? The failures in business, as I said a while ago, are all over the side of the road. You don't want to be another casualty. You don't want to be another casualty. You got too much invested when you're in business. When you're in college, you've got what it costs to go for tuition. When you're in business, you may have your house on the line. You may have your family's life savings on the line. You may have everything you've got on the line. You don't want to fail. So if you're not doing well in school now, either reevaluate yourself and buckle down, go to your counselors, go to people who can get you straight. If you're not there yet, figure it out. If it's just mere laziness, splash some cold water on your face and wake up. Because it's a solid reality when you're out there in the business world. There's real money to be made, and there's real money to be lost. And it's all about you. You know, you hear that saying, hey, it's all about me. It's all about me. Well, let me tell you, in the business world, it is all about you. Your success or your failure is all about you. Not about me. You see, what I do whenever I provide employment for the folks who work for me is I give them opportunities. I give them the leads. We set up the performer. We know what's going to be the mixture. We know the ratios. We know exactly what it's going to take to be successful. Now, from that point on, it's you that make the difference. And if we know our formulas work, then if it doesn't work, probably it was something you didn't do. So you can't afford to be that. And I want you to understand that. Keep reevaluating yourself. I'm not asking you to put pressure on yourself unduly. But I am asking you to be very, very honest about yourself. I want you to really think about yourself. Because that's the key here. It's you. Once I walk out of here, My success story is already written. I get it. Now it's about what you guys and girls can do. And here's the tip I'll give you. Amy knows how to get in touch with me. If you had a problem and you're trying to figure out how to get it through in the business world, call me. I'll give you a straight answer. It costs me nothing. But more than likely, I'll follow right through it with you. And there's never been a businessman in the world who went straight to the top without scraping his knees. There's no man or woman around that didn't make success without at one time or another feeling like they're about to crater, that they just probably couldn't take it anymore. But what happened, the difference between the successes and the loss, is those that recognize their weaknesses and address them. That's the difference. Recognizing your weakness, analyzing it to a point of improvement, and then execute. That's what's key. So when we come down to trying to figure out how to work with student organizations and spreading yourself thin, don't spread yourself too thin. That I'll do it all and need to do it all is wrong. Because as you know, stretch anything too thin, what's the next thing it does? Break. You break. You spread yourself too thin. How many of you have spread yourself too thin on a given activity? Let's say partying. I got 3 parties to go to. I'm trying to get to all 3. Man, I think it's going to be a great time. And somewhere between the first one is, wow, this is super. And the second one, dang, man, I'm having a little too much to drink. And the third one, shit, I don't even know what we did while I was there. I'm out. I was tired. I fell asleep, drank too much, did whatever. I didn't even have a good time. You blew it. Now, you could say, no, it's great, Gerald. No, I didn't blow it. It was great. Man, it's the best thing I ever did. Well, if maxing out to that level is great for you, okay, great. But the reality is you probably put too much on yourself and you spread it a little too thin. You probably would have had a lot more time if you went to the first one, started at the second one, stayed for a little while, and went, you know what? It's just right where I need to be right now. I'm going to cut out, give the rest of it up, and I'm going to pass on that third one. That's just too much. It'll be too late. I got other stuff I need to do. Tomorrow's another day. I got a whole bunch going on. And you just don't spread yourself too thin. Next question. How do you make time management a strength if it's not currently? Okay, so the question is, how do I tell time if I don't know how? Because time management is about telling time, right? We just want to tell time. So if you're telling me I don't know how to tell time, but how do I tell time? And I'm going to be back to you saying, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start understanding reality. Because the reality of this world is we're going to need a certain amount of time to do this, and we're going to need a certain amount of time to get to the next location, and I'm going to need a certain amount of time to do the next step. And so you have to start thinking backwards. You start thinking, okay, I got a 6-hour day, a 4-hour day, a 5-hour day, a 10-hour day, whatever it is. You start going, okay, look, I got to be here, 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 here. Well, you start categorizing it, and I put it on a calendar of time. My phone and iPad are a great service to me. They are great tools. They serve me well because I put the times when I need to be, what time I need to be alerted. I use the alarms to tell me, hey, you got 1 hour. Hey, you got 2 days before this event. Hey, remember, you need to be there in 15 minutes. Or, hey, there's no early warning. It's now you need to make that phone call. And when that phone goes off and that beep goes out, I look at it and goes, call. Call your mom. Okay. That's the note I need. Call my mom. Hi, Mom. How you doing? You well? Everything's good? Great. Yeah, I'm doing good too. Let those phones and let those electronics help you through your day. Make it work for you. Master it. Understand it. And keep your time management close to you. There's one thing you all own right now. You own an abundance of it. It's time. We don't have money, but we got time. Now, if you manage your time well, guess what? You get the money. That's the great thing about it. You've all got an abundance of time. Now, how you slice it every day, what you do with it every day, is up to you. but you got an abundance of time. Now, that also goes back to how you treat yourself at night, and did you get good rest, and did you take time for that, and did you take time to wash your hair, brush your teeth, look bright-eyed, get a cup of coffee, get some breakfast, and get to your first appointment, whether it's a class or a business opportunity. How did you spend your time? If you're not good on time management, you're probably not going to be good on success. They all go in tandem. There's a big circle. It's a big circle in the business world. Look at it. It all interacts. Some would say, well, that's catch-22. Well, not necessarily catch-22. It's not a trap. We trap ourselves if it's a trap. The reality is that as you prepare for the evening and go towards the morning and the sun comes up, you circle right back around. And the neat thing about the business world as well as life, you get to do it over and over every dang day. How hard is that? So if you made a mistake yesterday, brush it off. Start over. Give it a better shot. Reset and go. And then that way, you know you've got the opportunity of jumping over that speed bump that yesterday you tripped on. I was late yesterday, not today. I didn't get any breakfast yesterday, not today. I didn't get myself prepared yesterday, not today. You got an opportunity to move forward based on a repetitive nature. It's a circle. So if you're not good in studies yesterday, you got a new day today. Sharpen your pencil. Get yourself ready. Let's go to the next question. Addressing disorganized, I love this one. Addressing disorganization in groups and student organizations. How do you become a leader in these situations if you're not currently? I guess the idea there was I'm not currently, our organizations that I'm involved with are kind of in disarray and I need to help organize them. But I'm not currently doing that. Well, let's think about it. All of us need to be in organizations. Okay? Here's why. You learn a little bit of teamwork, which is good. Teamwork is really good. But you also get to learn about yourself. In the characteristics of this world, we're either highly aggressive or you're passive. There's a couple of ways people look at this in a variety of different kind of visual aids, but you can be running water, and running water, as you know, is above ground, exposed, and sometimes underground. It's sometimes shallow, sometimes deep. That's the folks that are a little more passive. Then there's those that are a little more bright, a little more flashy. Let's call them fire. So they're on fire. They glow hot. They look hot. They make entrances when they come in. And they're pretty much going to be on the attack. Whether they know what they're doing or not, it's immaterial. I'm not saying one group is smarter than the other. I'm just telling you the characteristics of them. So some of us rather be more passive, more quiet, more working on the outlines, and some of us want to be more in the center. A little flashier, a little stronger, a little more bold. Doesn't matter who you want to be and how you want to be. All of us are effective with the right tools. But in this case, if you've got a group that's disorganized and you're trying to figure out how you're going to help them become organized, the first thing you do, please learn about the organizations you attend before you just show up and go, I want to be one of you. Because if you're going to be an effective leader, if you're going to be an effective member of a group that has a leader already, you need to be aware of what that organization does, from its beginnings, to its current state of affairs, to its future goals. Just showing up going, count me in, coach, does not put you on the team. It's nice of you to show up, but what if after you speak a little bit, they decide, gee, I'm not sure what we got there. I appreciate y'all showing up. Now, in other words, do a little background check on the group that you're going into. What's their mission? What's their goal? Come prepared. As you come prepared to these student organizations, then you can give something back because you know something of their future, and you know something of their past, and you know something of their future. If you know something of their future and you've learned something from their past, where they began, how long they've been in existence, what accomplishments they've made, who's been their previous leaders, what's going on, just a little history read, easy. Then you say, hey, look, why don't we do this as you're involved with them and as things come around? You start to surface with knowledge. And coming in with knowledge is paramount to helping organizations accomplish their goals. But if I was to tell you one single thing that I want you to do in organization, it's really easy. It's do something. Do something. That means pick up something with your hand and arm. That means move with your feet, copy with the copier, distribute with the group, get involved, talk to people, do something. Do not be a member who sits. Do not be a member who sits there and says nothing. Do not be a member without a voice. No one needs bumps on the log. We all need working folks in organizations. As you all know, most organizations are dying for folks to attend. They all want members. Everybody wants a member. Please join us. Please join our group. It's the same way in the business world. We all want to work with one group. We all want to work with another group. We're being pulled financially this way. We're asked this way through sympathy or other effects. Look, I can name hundreds of organizations for you, all of which are fantastic. But only of which about 4 or 5 I can actually participate in. It's just that trying. But whenever I do participate, it's 150%. I give what money I can to that organization. I give what time I can to that organization. I give development skills to that organization. I recruit for that organization. I do media events for that organization. I do whatever supports that organization. I take off my business hat and put on my organizational hat. If it's 1 year Boy Scouts, I'm the best dang Boy Scout that can get out there and help them raise whatever their intent is to raise. If it's the American Cancer Society, give me my pink shirt. I'm putting it on right now. I'll be out there to talk about whatever I can do, raise funds, help people make an event, be at the parties, be at the walkathons, whatever it takes. If it's the Humane Society, I'm the first guy to figure out how much does it cost to buy a pallet of food and get it drop shipped to the Humane Society to get them food. You got to play in whatever it is. This past Friday, I'm a board member of Beaumont Main Street. They had Dogtoberfest. I don't know if you've even heard of Dogtoberfest. Just a fun time to bring families together, that you bring your own family dog and walk them out there and parade them and have lots of fun, and kids get things. I was on a ladder or unloading tables and chairs or putting up banners or any number of things for about 10 hours Friday. I was beat Friday afternoon. I'm not used to doing that, but it sure was fun to see the accomplishment of it. It means do something. That's my point to you with organizations. If you get involved, invest. Because that's the seed of how you're going to invest in your own company or how you're going to invest with another company that you go to work for. If the folks at DuPont or Exxon or IBM or Dell Computer or Apple want you in their group, you better come loaded for bear. They mean it. You're going to contribute. They want your mind. They want your body. They want your talents. They want you as part of that team. And you know what? You're going to want to. You're going to go back and talk to your friends, your mom and dad, your aunts and uncles, and go, gee, you can't believe I got this job. Man, I jammed it. The interview went well, things went well. The next thing you know, bang, I got this job. Man, it's really good. Oh, it may not be my best accomplishment ever, but man, coming right out of Lamar and here I am, golly. I get a salary. I'm in a nice town. I'm working here or there. I'm do a little travel, and I work with some really smart folks in this development. Wow. That is so cool. That's you. That's who you all are going to be soon enough. But you better come loaded for organizational skills where you participate, do something. Let's go through a couple more of these. All right, let's see. How do you showcase your strengths on the social media, and what's important to include? All right. This is where your dinosaur, my dinosaur side of me comes out. Social media. I got problems. That's the dinosaur in me, I'm going to tell you. Love texting. Love texting information. Not crazy about Facebook. Not crazy about Twitter. You go, oh, Gerald, I don't know how you even survive. I guess I understand it. From your point of view, it really doesn't make sense. Because you know what? I got daughters that all do all of it. They Twitter, they Facebook, they do everything. Okay? Love it. Wife does the same thing. I don't. Let's work backwards from what social media can do rather than what it does do. Okay? What it can do is rupture you. It can really harm you. Because what you put out, somebody gets to read. And guess what? After sin, it doesn't come back. There's no do-over button on that damn computer. It's all about what you said and what you thought at the very moment under the circumstances that you were at, and you sent it. And a few seconds later, you went, I wish I hadn't done that. That's probably a little too strong. I shouldn't have said that. It's gone. So with social media, be careful. Because your employer, and I have a question right here about interviews, your employer's first thing he's going to do is get your accounts so he can look you up. And whatever pictures you posted of yourself, holding the beer, going crazy over the diving board, is one of the ones he's making note of. What you said, who your friends are, who you link to, what you do, all matters. You may think it's my private social media. There's no such thing as private social media. There is social media. You want to keep it private? Don't put it on there. That's my suggestion. That's why I don't have it. I have enough information written about me inaccurately that I give to the media when they're sitting in front of me. I'm darn sure not going to put more of it out there to see if they can get it right off of my face page. Now, websites, excellent. Websites are built for businesses to showcase what they can do and what they do. Websites, excellent. That's a great media event. I have Facebook for my company. The Facebook page shows us at some of the Lamar events. We put on there photos and pictures of what we want people to see. Now, it's not the hottest thing going for businesses. Some folks nationally and internationally have a large Facebook following in their corporate worlds. But small businesses like mine don't have 1 million followers, so I don't reach a lot of people. But let's talk about in the social medias, protecting yourself. That's really what I'm driving here. Protect yourself. You have one image. It's hard to rebuild images. Look at those people in the entertainment world who have failed miserably by social media, and they are constantly working with their publicists and their managers and the sports guys that are great at sports that have screwed up, done something on social media. Look how much time and effort they spend trying to bring themselves back and seldom win. You see, don't put things out on social media that's going to harm you. It's great to check on your grandmother and your cousins and see weddings and see what's going on and talk to people that you haven't met and seen in a long time. It's great to have good connections with that. But don't destroy yourself at a young age on social media. What I want you to do is probably something all of you could use some few lessons in. And that's sticking your hand out, shaking hands with it. This is my social media right here. My social media is FaceTime, not Facebook. Shake hands with somebody. Say, hi, how are you? I hope you had a great day. You're very nice to talk to. You look lovely. You're very smart. You're all very creative. That's what you want to do. Shake hands. Make a connecting human bond with someone you don't know. Understand more about what he or she wants to accomplish, and then move forward with that in conversation. Create a social media of one-on-one. That's a lasting impression, and that's an impression that makes people remember you. Because it's those people that remember you are the ones you may be calling on in the future. Or they may be calling on you. It's great to know someone that you've met from Lamar. You bump into them somewhere else. You go, hey man, I remember you and I were in class. Oh yeah. God, yeah. So you've got a connector. That's what fraternities and sororities do. They connect outside of the school. That's what football team members, track members, all the different organizations, for whatever the scenario is. You get to meet people from other organizations and connect. Do a one-on-one handshake. Look people square in the eyes. Don't look away. Look them straight in the eyes. Shake hands firmly. Not this. Firmly. Give someone the reassurance that you are listening by a handshake. If you sound or feel like a dead fish, and when someone grabs your hand, I either think you're 92 years old or you're passing away. I'm not sure which. Okay? So when you shake my hand, you don't have to break my fingers, but I want to know you're alive and you're listening. And that's what you do when you're in interviews. Let's go to this real quick now with interviewing. Interviewing skills. Wahoo! Love it. Interviewing skills. Start with, you got a good breakfast, you got awake, you're ready to go, you're pumped, you're ready, you're not late. Please do not be late to an interview. You are not late. You are 10 minutes early. You are in their offices before date time due. If you come late, you blew it. I don't care if you're top of the class, you blew it. You can come up with, my mom called me and ran into a train, and I didn't realize, forget it. It's just another excuse. Go to your interview on time. Be early. Be there. Be waiting for the call when they say, Mr. Johnson, please come up. They want to see you. Next thing, look good. Look business appropriate. Business appropriate. What business are you going into? Engineering firm? Telecommunications firm? Is it art studio? Is it working at Humane Society? You're going to work for the city of Beaumont? You come to work for Lamar? Look appropriate to your job. Now, if you were going, let's say you're going to be working on a backhoe, okay? Let's just use that. Let's just say, hey, look, I'm going to be operating a big piece of equipment, okay? Look appropriate. Okay, that does not mean go in your rattiest t-shirt and your dirtiest blue jeans and your dirtiest work boots and you show up and go, yeah, what do y'all want to do? I can work that truck. I can work that machine. Ain't no problem. That's not what I mean. What I mean is you wear a nice clean shirt, preferably something pressed that looks right, with a good pair of jeans that are pressed or look right, and your boots polished. That's for the guys. And if you girls want to work backhoes, I can help you. I'll get you there too. But the guy who looks like he can command that piece of equipment is the guy I'm going to pay attention to. The guy who looks like he fell off that piece of equipment, I don't need. I want the guy who looks like he can control it. You know why? Because when he's working that backhoe, he's probably working next to electricity. He's probably working next to a water line, a gas line, something that could blow up, something that could hurt somebody. I want him to look like he's sharp. He is the man on the game. And ladies, I'm just saying man because most men work with equipment. I'd be happy to employ anybody who works with backhoe that's a woman. The reality is I want somebody to look the part of who they want to be. So look the part. So if you're going to go in and be a banker, look like a banker. Best dress as a banker. Guys need to wear suits, coat and tie if you've got something professional. If it's a little more casual, you may want a sports coat, open collar, slacks. Unless you're working for the Humane Society or a pet store, do not go in shorts. I don't care what it is. Don't go in shorts. This isn't about hairy legs or whatever. This is about a job interview. So look the part. Look the part for what you got. So, from there, interview skills. Look directly at the person, speak clearly, state your name, answer questions completely. I don't know doesn't count as an answer. I don't know is what? What are you saying you don't know? Well, this is an interview. You got to know. We're talking about you. If you don't know about you, then I'm not going to know about you. So come up clearly. Don't be nervous. Relax. Look, they just wanted to get to know you. So you go in, you sit down, you go, great. Try not to be too fidgety, not to be too much. Just set everything down. Propose for the questions. When they come at you, give a straight answer. Give a straight eye contact. Don't try to answer a question like this. Because if you're looking down like that, I'm already thinking, what? No confidence. No confidence. Remember we started this with getting confidence. No confidence. So when I talk to somebody, I want to look at them. I want to see them. I want to get the confidence. Okay? So you answer straight questions. You polish yourself up where you look appropriate to the job. You show up early. You act natural. Just relax and enjoy it. Because what everyone's trying to do is they can read your bio. We can read that. That's not hard. We want to know, does the personality fit the bio? That's what's important. I'm getting more than a bio. I can't hire a bio. I hire a person. So I want to know, are you going to interact well with my team? I'm bringing you into my team. I want to make sure you work well with my team. So here's some of your interview skills. Resume writing. First thing on resume writing, don't lie. Don't embellish. Put it down. Only if you work at an ant farm, that's better than no farm at all. Don't embellish. Write the truth. Back it up with facts. Make it clearly. I see a lot of resumes now adding videos. That's the newest thing. You add a video to your resume. If you're sending it electronically, there's a little video about you. Could be something about you, what you do. Could be anything. I mean, don't do some kind of pop music thing. I'm not looking for that. But, you know, there's some folks now, and take a look. Check it out. There's a few folks that are putting some videos in there. But the reality of resume writing is write the information factually in time-correct order. Okay? And back it up with a couple of 2 to 3 key people I can reference. I prefer it not to be your aunt or uncle, because that's bias. If your aunt and uncle don't love you, there's a fat chance that I'm not. I am too. So I'd rather you have it where you really have someone of a little better substance. Possibly you know somebody in the business world. Possibly you know someone here at the college. You know someone in an industry that you're wanting to go to, that you've met, that you've worked with. Maybe someone in your clergy group. Any number of ways. Get someone that's credible and give them as some resume references. This one had a question mark of, my hot topics are school, work, children, and health care. And my first word to you on that is God bless you, because that is a mouthful. You know, school, work, health care are very, very challenging. And you're really talking about, that's hot topics for all of us. And what I'm going to do is tell you to go back to where we started, getting your priorities in line, taking care of the must-dos first, getting yourself alert and ready for that day to attack, protecting your brood always. If any of you have children, in my world, they come first, even as your employer. If your child's in the hospital, you're going to see me at the hospital. Because I'm concerned, because you're concerned, and I'm concerned about you and your child. If your child needs to go to the doctor, I'm going to make sure you get to the doctor. You just tell me you got to go, and you're gone. You got it. I don't need a whole dissertation of what went wrong. I just want to know the children are taken care of. Just like I pay you through pay and salary, the money is used to take care of your family. When they are sick, I want to make sure you take care of them as well. School. Well, school could be here. School could be the children's school, any number of things. Some of my employees are very active in their schools with their children, and so therefore they need to take a little time off to go help them or meet teachers or be involved. And you know what? Congratulations. You are a parent. You have responsibilities, and I expect you to abide by them. I expect you to be the best darn parent you can be. And believe it or not, employers do a lot of counseling with parents, with employees about being parents. Because you're going to come to work one day, and if you're running flat and I'm looking at you, I'm going, what's up? You go, man, my kid's giving me a problem. I got this, I got that. Maybe it's sick, maybe they're little, maybe they're disruptive, maybe they're falling, maybe I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to help you bring it all together. I'm going to possibly give you some advice, possibly give you a few minutes to get yourself back together, or possibly tell you, hey, look, go home. Today's not your day. Go take care of them. Get it back together. See you in the morning. Not because I want to be mean to you, but because I know you can't perform. You can't think. I need 110% of it. I need you thinking on your feet. I need you moving and shaking. So that's what I say when I say school, work, children, healthcare. Last couple of ones. Online classes, take them. Take all you can get. Online is great attaboys because you don't have to physically go there to go take them. You physically have to be at this college to do something, but you might be able to take some additional classes online here or somewhere else without moving from your living room. If you can do that and do it in time management, remember, setting priorities first, priorities being most important, and you move forward from there. If you can do online classes that enhance your knowledge, increase your skills, and overall increase your personal value to a company, take it. Take it. It's an easy take. Last one before we ring the bell here. Federal government. Hot topics that you're currently facing. Federal government. I can't even answer that one. I'm stumped. Well, look, the federal government, in my opinion, needs fixing. But you didn't bring me here to talk to you about my thoughts of the federal government. But, look, it's a difficult task. You've got a lot of folks, with some folks wanting to be led and some folks wanting to be leaders. I will say this one thing about federal government. Federal government is not good at business. That's what we're all here for. We're here for business. The federal government's never been good at business. You can see their expenditures, you can see their open ending of issues, and any number of things come to mind when you think of federal government and business. In general, in a nutshell, it just doesn't work. Now, that's my ending for that. I'm open to questions. So now's your turn to talk to me. Fire away. Give me a next question, and I'll shoot it right back at you. Go.
Oh, quick. What's your favorite app for time management organization?
My calendar.
Okay.
That's how I live it. I don't try to get into real tricky things and try to keep me going. I use just an iPhone and an iPad, and I throw it on there, and I have them in cloud with it all together. And I hear them in my car going ding, ding, and both of them, one's in my pocket, one's in the back seat, and I know it's something to be done. And I get a minute to stop and look at it, and I know right then. And I do set those alert notices for myself to operate by. I love it. Next. Now, I know you guys are smart, but you're not that smart. Come on. What do you got? Wow. Okay. Now I get to shoot at you if you're not going to shoot at me. What you want to do?
I'm not sure. I want to own my own business, but I'm not entirely sure specifically what I want to do.
What's your love of life? What do you like doing the most?
I like to play the piano a lot. I like to keep up with sports.
Yeah.
I like to watch sports.
Okay. You got two things. I'll always tell you all, follow your passions. Follow your, if you are great at fingernails, I don't care what it is. I'll just use that. If you're great at fingernails, be the best fingernail person you can be and follow your love. You'll own a business. You'll own several fingernail places. If you like writing music, playing the piano, work it. You know, the latest thing right now is getting downloads on the electronic pianos and playing. You just download it. You hook it up like cable TV. It downloads the music to it and plays an infinite series of songs. Now, I'm not saying not having someone like you be able to play it is not important. That's very important. I could never do what you could do. But I can plug in the cable, turn it on, and say play, and it plays. You get the sound, and I love piano music. It's wonderful. So congratulations. What do you want to do, sir?
Oh, well, I got a variety of things that I like.
Give me the best one.
Music,
There you go. Mixing it, playing it. Which one?
make it, write it.
Excellent.
Do it all.
A lot of success in that area. Also hard to cut your teeth in, as you already know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Some good guys right there in Port Arthur that's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Some guys locally in Beaumont doing it. So I hang out with a few of them myself that's made it in music. And you know what most of them blew up on music is road trips. Road trips were just hard on the body. Took them away from their families and friends. Put them in some weird situations that didn't always lead to good examples. And over time, they all went, shoot, I got to cut back. You know. But I like the idea of cutting the music, mixing it, selling it. I got a good friend of mine that's working a variety of different apps where he brings a variety of different musicians and brings it into one app, and you buy in on that app and you can listen to a genre of music from around the nation. Really cool, innovative, just started recently. You in the hat, sir? Electronics? Well, you're in an age of right. Good grief. You ever notice how everything's electronic these days? You can get an electronic toothbrush. I got one. Electronic. I don't even do this anymore. Can you believe that? Electronics. It's so crazy. You? What would you like to be, ma'am?
Accounting?
Excellent.
Yes.
Forensic accounting is one of the newest high-tech fields. Forensic accounting, where you take the accounting books and you drill down and you fraction off and you look for fraud. Huge, huge money being paid in those fields. Forensic accounting. It's more than just the normal accounting. Look, bookkeepers pull my numbers together and we flip them over to our accountants and they verify them, certified, and just really stamp what we just gave them and charge me for it, okay? I still have to have them and I love them. But the reality is, you want to catch fraud. That's the businessman's worst boogeroo, is fraud. Because what I'm trying to find out is if she took from me and he's planning on it. And being able to drill down through looking at invoices, purchase orders, where the money went, who signed for it, how it went out, who cashed it. Did it get set off in a separate invoice and then back around and somebody returned it and got cash? Forensic accounting, pretty cool. Ma'am.
I've been a hairdresser for 8 years, and I'm just going to school to have something just in case.
Yeah,
I plan on being a hairdresser
excellent.
after.
So you're going to the business school as a sideline.
I'm in fashion retailing.
Yeah.
We have just as much. We have half and half, so that's fashion classes, and then I have just as many business management, marketing.
You know what? That's multi-trillion-dollar business, right? That's huge money. I got friends of mine that have 2 and 3 salons. They're outstanding. Employ 60 employees or more. My daughter herself graduated in fashion merchandising. My oldest, I should say. Hair never stops growing. Styles never stop changing. We all need a haircut now and then. Love. Hey, you know what the highlight is for me, guys? Is go with my daughters and my wife and all get our toes done. That's the funnest damn thing in the world. I laugh when I'm in there. I can't take it when they start scrubbing my feet. I swear, I'm giggling. I can't take it. Now, in the beginning, when it first came out, some of my buddies are like, "Hey, we're all going to get together and get some drinks. We're going to drink a whole bunch and we're going to get our toes done." I was like, what? But, you know, over time, then it became a little more acceptable to go there. Because there was this part where you couldn't go there if you were a man. Only women could enjoy the good life. The men couldn't do it. But I'm telling you, I just have a blast. Have a blast. I'll tell you a great story. My wife went there a few weeks ago, was sitting there, getting her toes done, got them in that warm water, you know, had to kind of like that, and all of a sudden she heard, whoop. It was her iPhone. Vibrated right off the chair and went right in for a deep dive. The little lady went, ah, and ran in and grabbed it and pulled it up, and they all kind of dried it off and wiped it down, and she took the cover off of it. It still works. I mean, it's amazing. So I didn't get it, but boy, sure had some funny looks on everybody's face. I wasn't there, but I can only imagine. You need to be stopped.
I can bring you some workshop. Right after this.
I can stop. Did you just stop? Want me to keep going?
I think so.
Okay.
Just try to-
Folks, it's been a pleasure, absolutely my pleasure to be with you. Get in touch with Amy if you have any questions you want to send me or ask. I'd be happy to help you. Business is fun. You all are successful people. Not you can be, you are. You just got to go prove it now. Okay? So have a great day.